Yeah, go ahead.
So when we say dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, looks like kama and dharma seem to be they don't seem to be the goal. Artha and moksha seem to be the destination. The other two seem to be the means or the route. Am I right? Or are they by themselves? I mean, I'm not able to comprehend if they themselves would be the destination. I mean, even dharma to an extent, we can say, okay, dharma can be considered a destination for, but how does karma fit in there?
Yeah. Kama means pleasure. Kama is pleasure. So if you look at kama as pleasure, we all want pleasure also, because we cannot put up with discomfort. We cannot put up with pain. Nobody wants pain. Nobody wants discomfort. So that comes under the category of kama. Anytime I want to get rid of that discomfort, that pain, anything that I don't want, in that category of uh, kama, I don't want. Therefore, kama itself becomes an end in itself. So always, whenever we when you go to sleep in the night, you turn off. Before you turn off the light, you make sure everything is all. The lights also. Some people like a night light. Some people don't like it. Then the fan is all put in the right speed. In India, fan is important, and right speed should not be too much. It should not be too little. Somebody, this guy, he says one, and then somebody says three, and then the son says this. There's a lot of argument before you go to sleep. Why? Because karma. They're karma, right? Because you want to sleep well, you want to have that proper environment. So that is karma. That will come under the category of karma. Therefore, karma is definitely something that is sought after. And artha is important. Only after artha comes, karma will come. Correct? Because you must have a fan, you must have a house in order to do all these things. If your day-to-day living itself is a problem, then karma will be put in the background. The person undergoes a lot of willing to undergo a lot of difficulty in order to get that artha, in order to gain that basic security. So that's what we will say for kama. And dharma also. Dharma is a purushartha because we have people who will say, no, I will do, but I cannot cut corners. That is dharma, righteousness, you can say. If righteousness is not an end, then it won't be there at all. And another meaning for the word dharma is punyam and papam. Dharma has many meanings, Madhumati ji. Punyam and papam. If you understand dharma as punyam and papam, then it becomes an end. Then it becomes a purushartha. Then nobody wants papa, I want punyam, I want punyam. So dharma becomes a purushartha. Okay. In other religions, is not there. Dharma is not a purushartha. That is why they can resort to deception and things like that in order to get more converts. This is the problem. Swamiji argued with some people in one of the conferences, and they said very clearly, Swamiji, for us dharma is not a purushartha. Okay. So for them it's not. For us it is. And dharma becomes very important. That's why Sanatana Dharma. Okay. So come what may, dharma becomes very important. Yeah. Does that answer your
Then,
question?
Dhanyavada Haji. I was coming from karma as desire, not from pleasure. So I thought desire is the route to. So
Correct. Correct.
a confusion is there.
Kama is pleasure. Correct. Not desire.
Thank you, Ji.
In this context, it's not desire. Yeah.
Dhanyavada Haji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guruji, I
So
have a question. Divya here.
Divya, Anil will come to you. Can you raise your hand? I'm not able to spot you. Ah, there you are. Okay.
Guruji, I have a question related to this Punya Papa and all. So I understand this body is perishable, and whatever we acquire, the punya and papa in this janma, and once the body perishes, the atma moves to, maybe it takes another body. But atma, again, we say that there's no qualities attached to it. There's no punya papa which can be attached to the atma. So how does it move to the other janma when we move when it takes another body? How does this travel to another janma?
Yeah. So Atma doesn't travel, really speaking, because Atma is, as you've said, Nirgunam, and Atma is Sarva Vyapi. Atma is everywhere. Atma is Brahma everywhere. So it really can't move. So what is it that moves is the question. The question is, there we say Sukshma Shariram. So that Jiva, that entity which says I am bound. Who says I am bound? Does Atma say I am bound? Who says I have a problem? So there is an entity that says I am bound. Okay, we can call it ahankara. We can call it sukshma sharira. So we can say jiva. That jiva, there is an entity that feels insecure. That says I am insecure. I need something. I need help. So that jiva is what travels. Atma doesn't travel. Everything is Atma. And so that bank account goes with that jiva. It goes wherever it goes, it carries that bank account with it. And so that is the way we look at it. Okay, Divya. Can you hear me? We can't hear you.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah, now.
So how is Jiva and Atma related, Guruji?
Jiva is Atma, Atma is not Jiva. Wave is water, water is not wave.
Okay, yeah.
Wave keeps moving, does it or not? But you can't say water is moving. Can you say water is moving? It appears like water is moving. Yeah. Like this, they have this lights around on shops and on top and all, in the billboards and all, they have lights. And the light seems to be moving. Like this it goes. Is the light really moving? It looks like it's moving, but it's not moving also. So there's something that is moving, there is something that's not moving. Two things are there. The bulbs are all pretty much stationary. The bulb is not running from one place to another. And but the way it is set up is that the light is moving. So Jiva is that entity which is our essence right now, which is who I am. And I am the one that's facing this world, and I am the one who has to make up our mind here. And so that Jiva is the one, that entity, we can say for now. It's not the body. It can't be the body, because the body perishes.
Yeah.
Body doesn't go anywhere. And so what moves? That Jiva moves from one body to another body. And we do our Shraddham, etc. to those Jivas, those Pitris, who we don't know, because we don't know where the Jiva goes. It's a belief only. In a way, it's a belief. It's a very good belief. It's an undeniable belief. You can't deny that belief. You can't disprove it. But it's a belief. And then it goes around, etc. And so we have this Tarpanam, Shraddha. My grandfather's, grandmother's Jiva is still there without a body. Possible. And so therefore for that person I offer, for that Pitru, that main, we offer the Tarpan. Like that it works. We'll study more. Okay. Okay. So Anil had a question. Sukanya, I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, shall I ask the question?
Yes, go ahead, Anil.
So in the 8th sloka, karma jyayaha akarmanaha. So this akarmanaha, I think is Panchami Vibhakti, right?
Correct. Correct.
And in the second one, na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. Is it again Panchami here? So is it like not possible from inaction?
So there akarmanaha should be Shashti. Shashti. So
So then,
So-
if it is Sashti, how do I interpret it?
that's it. So the exactly the way we interpreted it.
Because
Inaction for
why-
inaction there is no fame. That is the way to literally translate it. For inaction there is no fame. Inaction has no reputation. Suppose I translate it like that. How would you? For inaction there is no fame. There is no reputation. There is no correctness. Correct? There is Shashti. And it becomes Shashti.
धन्यवाद.
So Ramasya, so Duryodhanasya netritvam nasti. So for Duryodhana, there is no leadership, there is no kingship. Like that. Akarmanaha na prasiddhyat. There is no reputation for akarma in action. Okay?
धन्यवाद.
Good.
Guruji, I have a question. Shiva here.
Yeah, go ahead, Shiva.
You talked of Shushma Sharira is the one that travels, Guruji, I mean, connected to Divya's question. Something
Yeah.
I also wanted to ask. Does the Vedas talk of reincarnation, rebirth, or the Atma doesn't travel, as we say? There's a Sushma Sharira traveling and karma transferring from one birth to the other. In Vedanta, we say we only talk of what we experience. And isn't this a belief? How do you really experience karma being, or your papa and punya being transferred from one birth to the other?
Yeah. So, yeah, it is a belief. It's a belief. Punya Papa is a belief. Yeah, there is a lot of noise. I thought I muted everybody.
It's actually coming from Rukmini ji.
Yeah, I think you have to. All right. Yeah. So, correct. Punya and Papa is a belief. So, it may come as a shock to many of you, but it's a belief. And the question is it a illogical belief or is it believable? Correct? That is the question we have to ask. So, there are certain things which are to be believed, certain things which are cannot be believed, and there are certain things which are facts. Okay, these are the three categories we bucket our ideas of life. So punya and papa comes in this category. What about karma? Karma means punya papa, therefore karma also falls in the same category. Karma is equal to punya and papa, so they're not different. So yes, so it is a belief, and so our analysis circles around that belief. But fortunately, moksha does not rely on that belief. How's that? Moksha cannot be a belief. Moksha cannot rest on a belief. Okay, let me put it differently. Moksha cannot rest on a belief. Because moksha, there has to be a definiteness about moksha. You can't go after something that's a belief. You can, nothing wrong with it. But it's a belief, remember. Any belief can be disproved or can end up being proved wrong. Correct? Can end up, that's what the definition of a belief is. Otherwise, it's knowledge. It's a fact. And so, here, Atma being complete, Atma is indestructible, Atma is who you are, Atma is what is, everything is Atma, if we say. That is a fact. That is why teaching. But we are not going to sit here and try to prove that punya and papam are facts. We treat them as facts. That is belief. Okay, we treat them as facts, but it is belief. We are very happy to accept it's a belief because you can't prove it. How you can prove? Child is born. It comes without any instructions. Unlike this refrigerator you buy, it comes with all kinds of instructions. Who manufactured it? Made in China, made in this, that, Korea. All this it comes. Here nothing. It comes with zero instructions, zero background, nothing. You have no idea what it is. A pure belief. So, Shiva, that's the way it works. I hope it helps you somewhat.
Thank you. But as a follow-up question, Guruji, does Vedas, when I mean Vedas, the Brahmanas, the mantras part alone, do they talk of reincarnation, rebirth, karma being passed from one janma to the other? Or is that something that evolved later?
No, it is talked about in the Vedas. It's talked about in the Vedas. Definitely. Because it does, all the offerings are all to Devatas and Punya, and then going to other birth, all the yagas, Vishwajit yaga that this person does, Kathopanishad, it's all prescribed by the Vedas. And Vedas is, and Nachiketa knows it. And Nachiketa is asking for a boon. He himself is saying, the story itself is in the Veda, okay? And he himself is saying that people want to go to heaven. And so please tell me, when I go back to earth, please tell me, what should I tell them? I want to help these people. And so, like this, a story is there. So there are many instances like that. And the entire the Punya and Papa is central to everything a Vaidika does. And it doesn't mean a person is obsessed about Punyam and Papa. Obsessed about Punyam, okay? Papam definitely to be avoided. Therefore, I am going to follow Dharma, no doubt about that. I am going to get Punyam because of that. Shastram says, that's good. But not everybody is going to say, I'm going to keep building my Punyam account. Okay. So, if it happens, let it happen. Correct? So, our analysis does not rest on the nuances of the Punyam and Papam. We do talk about Punyam and Papam, and we talk about Prarabdha Karma, Agami Karma, Sanchita Karma, etc. But yeah, it is a belief. You can't do an experiment to find out what is your karma, what karma you gained this janma. All this you can't do.
Thank you, Guruji. I mean, your previous answer answered me in that moksha doesn't rest on karma. So anyway, it doesn't matter on that belief.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Haraprasad, go ahead.
Kumarji, I have a question.
Sure. After Haraprasad, let's do it.
Can I ask?
Haraprasad is going to ask now. Yeah, one second.
So, to continue Shiva's question, so that means even the Drishtapala and Adrishtapala is a belief, but I take whatever Swamiji says is as good as a Shastram. So when he says that Papa and Punya has Drishtapala and Adrishtapala, so is that a belief then?
We take it as a fact. It's a belief that is taken as a fact. That's taken as a canon. Okay. For us, when whatever the Veda says is a fact. Because we have Shraddha in the Veda. That's why you have another person who says, no, I don't believe in this.
So he doesn't believe in Vedas.
That person, somebody else will say, I don't believe in this Veda. Because I cannot believe in Punyam and Papa. Okay, so be it. If you can't believe in Punyam and Papa, that's fine. But it's not illogical. Nobody can prove it's illogical. Illogicality, we don't have to believe things that are illogical. Okay, please, let's be very clear about this. Illogical, irrational things we don't have to believe. The Shastra never forces us to accept anything that's illogical. We can only say, I cannot fathom this. I cannot fathom Punya and Papa. I cannot fathom what the Veda is talking about. And then later on you can say, no, I can fathom. I can fathom because every action has to have a result. And the Adrishtam is a very beautiful concept. It's there in all, the religions probably borrowed it from us. But so for us it is not. Of course, we don't say it is belief. We are just saying it is belief because technically that's what it is. But our Shraddha is so much in the Veda, it's no longer a belief.
Correct.
Not a belief. Yeah, it's
Correct.
a fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we are not going to take it lightly just because it's a belief.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So Bhagyashri, go ahead.
Yeah. Is the Raga Dvesha and Papa and Punya, are they similar?
Raga means like, a like towards something, a preference towards something. Dvesha means a hatred, a dislike towards something, anything. So that's the Raga Dvesha. Okay. Papa and Punya are entirely different. They are results of your actions. Nothing to do with Raga Dvesha. Raga and Dvesha impel me to act in certain ways. I like something, so I go after something. I dislike something, so I stay away from that. Correct? That is what Raga and Dvesha does to me. Punya and Papa are give me better births, and Punya will give me a better birth. Papa will give me a worse birth. Correct? Therefore, I don't want Punya. Therefore, I will not do things which will give me Papa, and therefore I will follow Dharma. Okay, that is the way. So Dharma can make me do things. Raga Dvesha can make me do things. What does Karma Yoga say? Hey, let your life be governed by Dharma, not by Raga Dvesha. If what is the dharmic is liked by you, then that's the best. Because whatever you do and what is dharmic are identical. So there cannot be a conflict. Conflict will be there when there is the divergence between the two. Correct? Yeah. And that's why Karma Yoga is needed. Karma Yoga is needed. That attitude is very important. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mahesh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. So continuing on this Punya and Papa being belief, so is that the reason the concept of Papa and Punya is to keep us do the right thing while we are alive, so that there is a consequences to say we do something, do himsa to someone or do something that you accumulate Papa or Punya, and we'll say you go to heaven or you go to hell or whatever. So that is basically a sort of a guardrail to keep us on track.
Yeah. See, when we tell children, when a child does things like hurting others, etc., then you what do we tell them? No, you can't hurt a person like that. How will it be if somebody hurts you like this? Okay, that is the argument we give, right? So the child can immediately see. And we don't say you will get papam. We don't use those arguments for a child. And that comes much later. Papam and punyam concept comes much later. But I doubt if the Vedas uses the papam and punyam as guardrails. Therefore, it invented this concept. So I wouldn't say that. Yes, what Vedas says is true. And so papam and punyam is there, and it is just telling us what it is. And the guardrails, it's actually enough. The Drishtapalam itself is enough guardrails for me, really speaking. So I may run away from the law, but sooner or later I'll get caught. The law will catch up with you, they will say. What is the meaning of that? Hey, in this life itself, the law will catch up with you. That is the statement. Okay, so the Punyam and Papam says, okay, if you get away from this in this life, then you still have to pay for it in a future life. So if your question is, Does the Veda uses Punya and Papa to keep us on the guardrails? I don't like to say it that way. I'm saying that the Veda is stating a fact, and the fact is there, and yeah, it serves as a guardrail for us, perhaps. That's the way I would kind of put it. Okay. Okay. Narayanan.
Namaste, Guruji.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know how relevant it is, but Jiva, when it is leaving the body, how is there a mention of it in the Shastras? Like, how does it look like? Does it have a form at all? If it is only Sukshma Sharira, what is the medium it travels in? And does it really exist at all? Because the minute the I-ness, when I associate myself, only then I can understand about Jiva. When that I feel somewhere that when that I is not there, the entire thing, it looks like a delusion. Does it really exist at all?
Yeah. So I'll ask you a question. What is the shape of love? Where does love exist? So where does love exist? Between two people, there is love. Okay. Show me where that love is.
So don't we give the name as emotion to it?
In the self.
Yeah. So you can perceive love. So, but you can't put a form to love. You can't put a form. You want to catch, the idea is there. The Sukshma Sharira is leaving the body. At least if I knew how it was, I can invent an instrument by which I can detect, like they detect this corona thing, they do this. And so then we can catch him. Wait a minute, you're too young, you can't leave this body. Wait, I will bring you the right doctor. I will push you, don't just wait for a little longer, okay? I will do that. So unfortunately, your questions may not have answers that you may be expecting. Although the Shastram talks about it, I've heard that the Shastram talks about all these things. There is a separate Shastram for it, okay? And how it goes, and what do you do, and how you talk to that Sukshma Sharira, how do you communicate? All this elaborate Shastram is there. Yeah. So so there is all the Shastram. There is every Shastram you want is available in India. It's amazing. Anything you want is available. And what you asked also is available. You can safely assume it is available. Only thing is, in this class, we don't talk much about it. That's all. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Guruji.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sundariji, you had a question, I think, right?
Satya had a question. Satya, actually,
okay. So yeah, I saw Sundariji raising a hand. That's why I asked her.
Maybe casually. I think most of my questions before I asked, somebody asked that question. So I land up being very satisfied.
Good.
And,
okay, Satyaji, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I don't have a question. I just wrote a comment in reference to the transmigration of Jiva. It is metaphysical. It cannot be proven in the relative world.
Yeah. No, it is metaphysical. When you say, then you are introducing a new word. So that means we have to now understand what metaphysics is. And so what you mean is that this comes under a realm of something which cannot be proved, but can still be true. Correct? That's what you mean, I hope.
Yes, exactly. It's a concept, so to speak.
It's not a concept.
So yeah,
Well,
we need to be careful. We just need to be careful using that word concept. That's all. So otherwise,
well,
somebody will come and say moksha is a concept, and moksha is a concept. If they say, our swamis won't like that because we are not giving up our life for a concept, and we are giving up. We are pursuing this for something that's real. That's absolute. So yeah, I think. Yeah, you can say it's a concept initially. When I'm beginning to understand, it's a concept. Um, just like love to your own children, it's not a concept. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean just because there's no shape for it, it is not a concept. It's so real, it drives you. The entire life is driven by love. Correct? So important it is. The more subtle something is, it seems to make an even more impact in our life, becomes even more important to us. So
when you say a relative world and a projected world and absolute reality, again, we are dividing Satyam into three categories. So in order to understand, you have to have a structure, and that structure is what I am calling as a concept to understand, to have a structure to understand. So I can simply say that Atma Satkam, for example, Sankaracharya says, I don't have father, I don't have mother, I don't have birth, I don't have death. So if we believe in that Atma Satkam or whatever name you call, it's a belief. It is a concept in that sense.
Yeah, so you can say it's a concept. Yeah, that's it's just a very important concept. That is, it's so important that our life or death depends on that statement that we are trying to understand. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Surendra. Guruji explained meaning of yajna so beautifully today. Okay. Okay. Jatara Agni gastric juice is used by Ayurvedic physicians. Mahesh says that. Okay.
Yeah, when I was growing up, Jayakumarji, when I used to go, when I was in Kerala, actually, I grew up going only to an Ayurvedic physician. And he always used to talk, and he had certain things like, he used to say, like, when you get up in the morning, don't drink anything, tea, coffee, milk, or whatever, without drinking a couple of glasses of water to reduce the pH in the stomach. I mean, he didn't explain in pH, but he said you have to make it the Jadaragni quiet. So he gave some kind of a guidelines, like you should not drink water in the first 45 minutes before taking a meal, and then 2 hours after taking meal or something like that. So since you mentioned Jadaragni, I thought I would say.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do is this. Next week, a couple of things I want to do. Our next class. One thing is I want to explain the shlokas that we are chanting. I've been promising that. Shruti, Smriti, Purananam, etc. So some of you may not know the meaning of these shlokas. So I would like to explain that. And then we also have to chant this chapters 2 that is still pending. So we'll see how to do that. Those two things are there. And next week, next class, maybe we'll have a meditation session because we've not done it in 2 weeks now. 2 classes or 2 weeks, I think. So just wanted to mention that we'll do it as the time comes. Okay. So we'll have a meditation session on Wednesday morning, Indian Standard Time.
Is the Zoom link different than Jayakumarji for the meditation or the same link?
It's there in the WhatsApp group. Go ahead and look at the WhatsApp group. It is different.
I think it's different.
It
is
yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.